The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of KSMQ Public Service Media Incorporated or its assigns.
Tonight on Health Connections.
The Vitality Center is the entire community because it's still the ongoing living laboratory, so people can come and study us.
I look at the Jacobsons kind of an igniter.
To create a foundation upon which to build.
We're taking a closer look at the largest experiment on healthy living. Stay tuned. You're watching Health Connections. What do you do with a southern Minnesota town that is completely average?
We were statistically average, almost identical to the average for the whole United States.
Albert Lea, Minnesota is average in some ways, but it definitely is not average when talking about helping its residents live better and longer. As part of the city's ongoing efforts as America's first Blue Zone certified city, Albert Lea is preparing to open a Vitality Center. We took a closer look at some of the ways the Vitality Project has changed Albert Lea and what the Vitality Center will bring to Albert Lea and the region.
When Dan Buettner and Leslie Lytle from the University of Minnesota and others came here in October of last year and kind of presented this Blue Zones concept to us. And, you know, it struck me immediately that this is a really good thing for us.
I think, first of all, the Vitality Project is embracing the concept of extending the lives of area residents. And the goal is to add several years onto the longevity of people. And the way they intend to accomplish this goal is by materially changing the way in which people approach life.
The question was, can you take some very simple characteristics of certain societies, and these are societies where people live extremely long, and they are well up until almost the time of death. So the time of mortality, as they call it, the time that you essentially you're passing on to another life, often in those societies is maybe 4 to 6 weeks, where in the United States it can often be much longer. Sometimes people can live in nursing homes for years and years.
Well, I think that I can use my mother as an example. I don't think she would be embarrassed if I was to say how old she is, but she's 95 years old. She lives in her own home in Southern California. She retired there about 30 years ago with my father. And she has consistently always watched her diet, eats smart, doesn't smoke, exercises daily, not just her muscles, her body, but her mind as well. And so she has stayed very engaged. As a consequence, the quality of her life is absolutely excellent. And she clearly recognizes that to be 95 years old and still living an independent lifestyle, living in her own home, that she's an exception. And I think that what the Vitality Project or the Blue Zone initiative is intending to do is to create more opportunities for residents of Albert Lea, Freeborn County, so that they can enjoy the kind of lifestyle that my mother is fortunate to live.
Can you take those characteristics and can you apply them to an entire community, not just a small segment of a community, but can you get an entire community to adopt those characteristics? And will that change statistically how long they can live and how well they can live? We were chosen, though, not because we were healthy, but because we were statistically average, almost identical to the average for the whole United States. So we have obesity. And we have obesity at the same level as the U.S. has obesity. We have diabetes at the same level, and our smoking is about the same level. We had about 2,300 people that took the Vitality Compass over the period of time. We did learn from the evaluations that had been done so far that we gained 3.1 years of healthy life. We had set out to gain 2 years. In other words, if we had 5,000 people take it, we had hoped to gain 10,000 extra years. Well, so 2,300 people taking it, gaining 3.1 years, we still did reasonably well. And we did very well statistically as far as a pilot project is concerned.
Living smarter, changing their diets, exercising, and realizing that the quality of their life can be significantly improved by making, in some cases it might be a major lifestyle change, but in others, subtle changes. But I think the bottom line that I've seen is that for people to live a healthier lifestyle, it's not a short-term commitment, it's a lifestyle change. We spend so much time problem solving and addressing issues that it doesn't leave us an opportunity to teach as much as we could or should. So I think that this project will give us that very opportunity.
When we started into this process, because of what had been going on before in the community and now thinking about vitality, I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if, whether the study continues on or not, if Albert Lea could become something like the National Vitality Center, the place where people would come to learn about vitality, where they would come to just experience vitality. Basically, people would come maybe for a week and would work through kind of an institute process. Albert Lea was blessed by the United Health Foundation being able to, coming up with $750,000 to pay for this study. I don't know what it will cost another community to learn the process and to begin to develop themselves. And it doesn't happen overnight, and you don't just come for a week and say, go back and now we're a vitality center. Albert Lea, because of our success, has been designated by Blue Zones as America's first Blue Zone city. We're really happy about that. But that's a continuing process. So the Vitality Center is part of that continuing sustainable process.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's great to be part of this event. On behalf of Dr. Mark Schode, our board chair, as well as all of our trustees and employees, Albert Lea Medical Center is very pleased to announce that we're going to be making a significant contribution to the Vitality Project in the amount of $27,000. Establish a solid foundation and to get this project further off the ground. As you know, the Medical Center has partnered with the community, and we've enjoyed a relationship for over 105 years. And during that period of time, we focused on a number of different projects. And so
becoming part of the Vitality Project is really in concert and supports past initiatives and is really our attempt to say that we want to promote a healthy community. We believe in the Vitality Project. We have invested the time and efforts of members of our medical staff, administration, other employees, and we really want to see this become successful because I think that Albert Lea has a wonderful opportunity to make a significant difference, not only in the lives of the people of the greater Freeborn County area, but the entire United States. And so I'm just very glad with the turnout tonight, and thank you for letting us become part of this project.
Thank you.
All of Albert Lea will become the Vitality Center, hopefully the National Vitality Center. It's the living laboratory for people to come and study about how to become a vitality community. The Vitality Center is the entire community because it's still the ongoing living laboratory, so people can come and study us.
I think that the healthcare community or the healthcare industry does have a responsibility to help individuals prospectively live healthier lifestyles. And as a result of programs like the Vitality Project, that provides us with a very nice vehicle to partner with the community to get the message out to patients about the value, the importance, the necessity of living a healthy lifestyle. And so rather than being retrospective and responding to problems as they surface, we can be proactive and minimize then some of the healthcare issues, whether they be chronic or emergent, that people might experience, so that they can avoid, in some ways, coming to see the doctor.
You know, we have one of the really great things about this country is that our health system is so good that they can fix just about anything. You know, sometimes things that don't get fixed, you know, but they can fix a lot of things. But why should we be in the fixing business? You know, it's like your car. You know, why don't we take ourselves in for that checkup and oil change? Why don't we take responsibility for our own health and wellness instead of waiting until we have to go to the doctor or go to the hospital? We still need doctors, we still need hospitals, obviously. But if we can make that change as a total community, you know, it'll be recognized.
Most of us in North America have a very, our orientation is we want things now. We're not particularly patient. We're very demanding. Yet when you take a look at the span of a lifetime, it's obviously several years. And so in order to extend your life and in order to certainly have a quality lifestyle while you're living, it implies that you might have to make some changes. And these are changes that are not intended to be cruel. They're intended to be helpful. And something as simple as making a dietary change and watching the type of food groups that you put into your body will have benefits. But the fix is not short-term. The fix, it has to be a lifestyle change. It has to be a conscious decision that you want to live a healthier, longer lifestyle, or regardless of how long you live, you want to be able to fully enjoy your life, the people that are in your life, your family, your friends, and be able to participate in activities to the fullest. One of the roles that the medical center can play is through a gift that we're making. We can help them establish a center to create a physical presence. I think we have a very rare opportunity in southern Minnesota to become the vitality capital. We've received, as you know, an enormous amount of visibility. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we can sustain the momentum that we've created and long-term truly impact the lives of people? And then that momentum spreads from this community to others. But we need to have a center where people can learn from our experiences.
Specifically, the Vitality Center that we're working on right now is in the Jacobson building, which is a building that's adjacent to and actually attached to the former Freeborn Bank building. So these are two classic buildings on downtown Albert Lea on Broadway and William Street. The city owns those. The city has spent money to totally restore the exterior of those buildings. And we're working now with different organizations to try to fill the buildings. But the first floor of the Jacobson building, it's 20 feet wide, 118 feet long, and we've gutted that right now, and we're getting ready to rebuild the inside. And this will be a place where not only the community can come, but people can come from other cities, they can come from corporations, they can do research.
Well, the Vitality Center, I think a lot of it goes hand in hand. You're on the, I think everybody's familiar with the Blue Zone and the Vitality Center. It's just a continuation of good health, healthy environments, a variety of other things that go on. And one thing that Albert Lea seems to be, they're really stepping ahead. They're kind of the leader for a lot of the areas coming around here. And one of them is in the health, which is primary if you see the baby boomers moving. The other one is the historical buildings that you have available. I think you're the only one in the state that still has as many intact that are probably covered with layers and so on like that. But going in the state of Minnesota, you have the your inventory is about the best there is, and going throughout the state. You look at it, and you look at the idea of sustainability and the way we're moving towards the future. It's the reusing of these buildings, these older buildings. I always look at these buildings as not only the beauty of them, but they are what you call a bundle of energy. And you look at that energy, what it took to build it, and then you have to look at what it's going to take to tear it down and what to rebuild it. And you look at the life cycle of these buildings, or you look at going at the downtown area I'm talking about right now. You can't find it. And the idea with the water and the vitality that you have going in the area, they all work hand in hand. So the future of Albert Lea looks really, really good, and they're really going in the right direction. And a lot of the communities, just on the rural communities, could learn an awful lot by just watching them as they move along. I think I look at the Jacobsons kind of an igniter. If you look on the outside, you've got the front, which is beautiful. It's just exciting. But to see it vacant is really hard to watch. So the idea of seeing the life coming into it, any kind of life, any idea of a light lit up at night coming through it. But I think what's going to happen is by seeing the Jacobson, I think you can see it now. It's just by as the way it's taken apart, the idea of going on the structure, the steel beams, how they worked in, how many years ago, over 100 years ago, and you look at it and try to build what they have now. But we're looking at what they built. It's stood up for 100 years, and we go at it, and we go at the vitality and the health area of it. We look at the design. We hope to bring those hand in hand as we go in the design. And I think the community can be the critiquer on the design. The design is still kind of fluid right now as we're working on it, but it'll turn out beautiful. And then you look at, hopefully it'll spark the rest of the building in order to go towards the renovation, because I think it's just seeing what can be done with something very simple, which is a beautiful building to begin with. You don't need a lot.
Albert Lea Medical Center enjoys a long-standing partnering relationship with the community. For the past 105 years, we've worked together to meet the healthcare needs of people in the greater Freeborn County area. So by becoming involved in the Vitality Project, it's really an extension of the partnering relationship that we've enjoyed for 105 years.
Well, the building is, number one, if you go through the nation, just on the National Registry, this is a building that you don't see nationally. Once this building is completed and once the people are inside of it, once it's being used, it will win many awards if you go throughout the country as you're going on to it. It's got a porcelain exterior that's it's very unique. And you don't see it, I mean, throughout the country. So the building is unique just on a national level. So if you're asking me the question, that's it. I mean, if anyone that comes down and drives through Albert Lea, first comment is the Freeborn Bank and the building sitting next to it. And I think even the community always comments on it. So it's been here for years. It's something that's going to be nationally recognized, and I think the country will be able to share, your architecture, which is really important. And even as the young keep moving to look at it and the history that goes along with it, and that goes with the vitality. Your children, my children, can come back to enjoy it, and that's like the basis of a building. The structure of a building is that history of this building that's going to carry the community.
So it will manage and facilitate all of the existing and future initiatives that have taken place within the community. It'll facilitate some sort of a regional or even maybe national level vitality conference. It will work with Blue Zones with Dan Butner to help other communities learn about vitality. So it will be the coordinating or the facilitating center for that. We hope to do it with grants and individual donations or corporate donations. We're actually talking about a program called Partners in Vitality. We would hope that companies coming into the community or in the community today would invest in this center, because if the Vitality Project continues to be successful, workers are going to be healthier. Maybe insurance rates will not increase so rapidly. Maybe they'll even come down, but certainly absenteeism will be lower. I think there'll be more purpose for the worker. There'll be more excitement in life just being here in this really great vitality place to live. We would hope other companies that are, especially companies that are involved in vitality processes or products or wellness products, might come to Albert Lea and bring their companies here, develop here, hire employees here, become part of the community, and also become partners in vitality and help fund this ongoing process. Someday this may become a research institute. Certainly that's my vision for it, would be a research institute. We have the Hormel Institute, of course, which is certainly involved in health research. Hopefully we could be involved in vitality research. Maybe students would come here, or maybe university classes, or maybe people would be working on their doctorate degree or whatever, doing research on national vitality. I personally feel, and I think Blue Zones, I think, shares that we can help change national health policy by changing the way we live.
The first encouraging word I would share is that people need to be open to change. And the second is that nothing comes easy. If there would be a third, and that would be to partner with a friend or a family member so that you can support and reinforce one another as you travel on this journey.
What does it mean to Albert Lea? It's how many communities, just if you can even imagine an entire community becoming part of a national research project, project of the University of Minnesota, a project of the largest magazine distributor in the world with AARP, major insurance companies interested in a community. Good Morning America, coming here 3 times, Nightline coming here. This is important. I mean, when you think about what shows of that nature, often have on, to recognize that Albert Lea is doing something unique is really important to us. It's really exciting. So when we open this Vitality Center, we hope that excitement will continue, and I think it will continue.
First of all, we have to create a foundation upon which to build. And part of that certainly is drawing upon the knowledge and skills of the people that are involved with the Vitality Project, the Blue Zone project. We need to spread the message. We need to educate. We need to engage. We need to involve others.
And if the people you work with, any project you go on in architecture, it's the people that you work with and the people you're with, the vitality or the energy. Maybe everything doesn't go hand in hand, or somebody disagrees with something, but if anything was ever built or anything that was done that was really great, there was always some sort of disagreement and was worked out. And that's the beauty of it. The energy that the people have and the dream that they have is really something to really enjoy and try to bring it to life. So that's what I enjoy. I totally enjoy. I'm lucky I'm even involved in it. So.